before we did the intro.
Oh yeah, we're
Uh,
live, I think.
James, I can see we're live. I can have live button up here in my left-hand corner. I can see that.
We're live,
Can't
Danny.
see me,
Danny, we're live.
Huh?
We're live.
Huh?
Well, I'm live.
Right, let's go.
All right, come on. All right, serious now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mauls and All the Breakdown live on Facebook and YouTube. Matt will also be uploading this episode on Spotify for anyone that wants to listen there as well. Tonight, when we were reviewing our four games, I'll be joined by, as I said, Matt Boland, Len Brennan, and of course, good Bishop himself, and of course, James Grennan. Now, James, I'm going to leave you introduce Orla Foley because I know the two of you know each other quite well. So I will hand you over for the introduction to that.
So, evening all. This is my good friend from many moons ago, Orla Foley, the baby sister of a very famous Munster man, Axel, Anthony Foley. So Orla, you and I go back a long way back to, I think it's around 97, 98. We had a little bit of crack when we met up in over in Malta, wasn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
On a Christmas holiday, summer
Christmas holiday, yeah. And if I remember correctly, that was the first time I saw the casual vomit in action. That was yourself with the. Do you remember the Americans in the bar? The two Americans are probably scarred for life after that. But anyway, we good crack.
But I was always a lightweight, so
yeah.
And
when we got back, we had
my friend.
We had a little bit of crack with your brother then when we got back as well.
Yeah, you met him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and you decided to prank him then by telling him that we had met on holidays and got engaged.
That went down like a lead balloon, didn't it?
I don't know what annoyed him more, whether the thought of me defiling his baby sister or the fact that I pretended I knew nothing about rugby and I didn't know who he was. I don't know what annoyed him the most, but I was in fear for my life.
We did clarify with him we were only friends and there was no defiling involved.
yeah. So anyway, Orla, you're on here. It's coming up to Anthony's anniversary, and you have a special event coming up. But do you want to talk a little bit about that and let us know what you're doing for that?
Well, as you know, it's on Thursday. It's 9 years since Anthony tragically passed in Paris, and I am marking his anniversary this year with a very special event because in November it's also 30 years from when Anthony donned the red of Munster at senior level. So it's a very special October, November. So we're doing an 8-week movement challenge called Move for Axel, and everyone is invited to get involved. Whether you're a walker, hiker, runner, wheelchair, you're very welcome to join the Move for Axel Club. And you can just find all those details on Move for Axel on socials, or you can contact me at orlafoley.com. And then we also have a Cycle for Axel Club, where for the more speedsters and cyclists or people like me who are just pootering along doing a few kilometers, because I'm just back a month. I've cycled all the way across Europe to 2 hours south of Naples as part of my fundraiser. And so far there's over 75,000 raised, and I'm turning 50 in February. So I have a big bumper 50 for 50. So anyone that wants to get out there and give me raffle prizes, I have some amazing prizes already in. And I'm aiming for the 100,000 by then. So really could do with everyone's support getting involved, whether you want to walk, hike, wheelchair, just come on, join. We have a great support like Anna Caplice, Niall Ronan, Killer, and my dad is my poster boy. He has a new hip, 3 weeks old tomorrow, and he's actually beaten me on the leaderboard on the walking. So I had a good chat with myself today. It's like, I gotta get the move on.
Anna Caplice is joining you as well, did you say?
Yeah,
she's been on the show with us on the Thursday night show about 2 or 3 months ago now. She's great girl altogether. She's brilliant.
She's mighty, and a mighty singer. In case you ever need to sing song,
I've seen her YouTube clips. So so it's 9 years. That's it doesn't seem that length since the funeral and the passing, sad occasion. But it's great that you're doing this and to remember him. And we've a lot of Munster guys on the program tonight, and even Matt. I think your mom's from Munster, isn't she?
She is indeed.
And I spent many happy years in Munster as well. So we're a very Munster oriented show tonight. Back to you, Danny.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry, Orla, where can people donate to this if they want to?
So you can just go onto iDonate and you can look for Move for Axel. People can donate there. They can register there on idonate.ie. It's a great fundraising platform that I've been using since the onset of the initiative. If people can't remember what I said, just look up orlafoley.com. There's a page on my website that directs everyone to all the different bits I've mentioned for whatever way they want to get involved. And anyone that's thinking of donating a prize or sponsoring, it's a really good time to get in at this stage because they get a lot more airplay on the socials. So get in now if you want to win.
We'll do a post in the group and mention it all, and I'll stick it on the Spotify as well.
Much appreciated.
No, just a few comments coming in here before we start about the weekend's game. Regular contributor here, Gregor Galway, saying evening to everyone. So evening all. Bev and Marie, is Orla O'Sheen's mom or is it Rosie? That's his mom.
No, I'm his godmother, and he actually turned 20 today.
Wow.
Wow. I see. What's it now? We'll hear from Matt, but we'll come to the Leinster game. No, that's for the Leinster Munster game now. The weekend, we leave that there for a while. Gregor here saying a question: what does it mean to you whenever you hear someone's coming up to you and say a nice thing? So maybe about your brother or yeah.
That's amazing. And that's been the amazing thing about the fundraisers. I've got to meet people all over Ireland, across France and Italy. And he had such a special place in everyone's heart. And it's lovely to see his memory live on. It's really heartwarming. It's been the most amazing journey for such a tragedy. Like, I've had more men break down crying to me over the years because he meant that much to them. And, you know, it's lovely because Irish men aren't meant to be great for showing emotion. And I've seen a lot of emotion in the last 9 years out of Irish men. And what people do to help and support me. Like Barry Murphy did an amazing song. It's literally like a bro romance from one guy to another. And he gave that to the fundraiser. And it's I just think it's fabulous. It's lovely to see my brother live on. And this is about keeping his legacy alive. You know, he had great and determination. And I think he's coached that into me from above. So it's just a testament to how much he was loved.
Yeah, I think
everyone can actually very pertinent because Gregor just lost his own dad just over a week ago. Actually, the chap was asking the question.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Gregor.
Yeah,
condolences, Gregor.
Well,
yeah. So condolences there, but I think we all have someone we've lost that we can relate in that kind of way. Like you're saying about your brother, certain things he might have passed on to you when they go, you then realise what they have passed on to you, I suppose, in a way. I'm going to get in from a cheeky comment here from a fellow admin.
Must be Dara.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dara.
It's Dara. Is Daddy's Springbok shirt in the wash? No, it's not. Nice to see the Munster shirt being worn for once. It's always available. I have multiple, Dara, don't worry.
We'll send you
great to see Orla on the show. As a Leinster fan, many happy memories of Axel, a legend of Irish rugby.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dara. Yeah. Feeling the love.
Let's see what I have here. Gregory, and again, we will all remember Axel when we even heard on his passing. Yeah, I think it's one of those moments, just certain things in life that you do remember. I
have a little bit of warped humor around that one.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of ironic, but that my brother is the Irish Princess Di moment.
Very much so.
I don't think you like that.
Yeah. He'd love
There's a
that.
bit of irony in it.
He'd love that as much as the thought of me and you being getting engaged after meeting 2 weeks ago on holidays.
I
I'll
think
never
that would
forget the
be a
look on his
close
face.
second
I
behind it.
feared for my life that day. The look on his face, and the just I could imagine what players.
That'd be
must have-
most people's reaction, James.
Yeah, most people met on the
I
field.
think
Like,
he was
I
more
thought,
upset by the
oh,
size
cool.
of the diamond, James. It was a bit of a small diamond.
Geez, Orla, what would he have done if he found out he was a Mayo man on top of that? Poor James.
Just as well he's dead.
Oh!
No, I think
there'll be
that
two of us.
I actually love the Mayo folk. So Mayo was very good to me on my cycle around Mayo.
Oh, good.
And it was actually a Mayo woman who was my support car for most of the way.
Oh, brilliant.
So Mayo was
Delighted to
very
hear.
good to me. So
Oh, jeez, no. Do you know what, James? I'll call up at 7 hours sometime, Joe, over the winter. Joe, I'll finally bring it to Mayo, okay? I'll bring it all the way up and carry. Don't worry, I have my contacts there and GA. Now, Matt, your message, GA, man, so I suppose we'll start from that, will we?
Yeah, we'll start with Matt.
Yeah.
Good luck, lads.
Len, I'll come to you first. Munster
Go on.
20, Edinburgh 19. What do you make of that game?
Yeah, can I just say before we go on that I'm actually kind of a little bit starstruck, you know, in presence of rugby royalty here with Orla.
Yeah.
I had on the 78 team and Axel and Sister Rosie then as well. So it's lovely to meet you, actually. And as you were just talking about Axel being the Princess Di, I think nearly, certainly every Munster man, there was 2 moments in our life that you'll always remember was the figure 8 in Soldier Field. And then Ash Dixon laying down the AF jersey to the Axel's 2 lads against the back. Actually, she's nearly choking up here, nearly thinking about it. And actually, I've only, apart from, I think it was Othello, I think, back in my leaving cert, that I had to sit through. I've only willingly watched 2 plays in my life. One was Alone in the Stands, and the other was Pat McCarry's Soldier Field. And both of them obviously have a link to the Foley family.
what do you think of Soldier Field then?
I loved it.
Because it's coming to Limerick and Dublin and Tralee. I actually forgot to mention that's part of.
We actually had Pat was on the Thursday night show and he was promoting it. He was actually interviewed. Yeah, it is very, very good. It's very poignant.
He's mighty.
Yeah,
he really captured it well, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, it was. And obviously for the family, it's like it must be a nice tribute that play is always there in Axel's memory, probably.
Yeah, it's fabulous. And what I love about the play is, like, we're rugby fans, but I think anyone that's not a rugby fan would enjoy it because it's a good standalone play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Follow it. You know what I mean? The emotion of it.
Yeah. You know, if since it's on Tralee, I might actually sneak in over to Tralee and actually give it a watch then when it comes on.
It's on Tralee. It is. It's going to Tralee. I'm sure Pat can sort you out.
Oh, yeah, sure. We get something out. Anyway, I'll find some way of getting in there. I'll pull some sort of card or something like that. One question there for Orla before coming to you and Len about the Munster game is, Orla, are Anthony's 2 sons involved with Munster rugby setup?
They're not currently involved with the Munster setup. My nephew Oisín Minogue he's in the academy, and he's got a good Minogue and Foley genes in him, and it's great to see. I have to say I admire anyone wanting to go professional because the hours of dedication and the determination and the sacrifice that they have to do. I always maintain that rugby players get paid the minimum wage by the time you break down the hours spent towards their career path. It's really a passion job. So it's an amazing path if someone chooses to walk it, and it's tough. Not everyone makes it.
Yeah, like every kind of top level profession, it's the best to get there.
There's a high attrition rate.
Yeah. So,
why do you think we're doing this podcast, Orla? Why do you think we're doing this podcast? We didn't make the upper echelons of rugby.
You could have been a star, Matt. You could have been a star.
Yeah, we'll get to you, Matt. Don't worry.
The old league gave out in the end, wasn't it, Matt?
That's it, yeah.
So, Lynn, what did you make of the Edinburgh game?
Thanks very much, Orla.
Thank you, Orla. There.
Yeah, look, it was like we had a try win inside of 2 minutes. Andrew Smith was brilliant, beating Darcy Graham to touch it down. And then Edinburgh hit back with 2. And look, lads, I hate, like, we're 3 from 3. We're second on the table. But after, you know, the excitement of the first game and our attacking shape, and, you know, lads kind of got overly excited. And lads in Leinster got overly depressed after the first round, right? So you don't want to be nitpicking because we're in a great place, but performances have fallen off in the last 2 games, Cardiff and then Edinburgh. And to be quite honest with you, I think had it not been for Edinburgh's indiscipline, we mightn't have got away with a win on the day. Now, Edinburgh were absolutely shocking. I mean, there were 4 yellow cards. It could have been 5. There was a tackle off the ball on Patterson, and he was, you know, probably away for the try. The croc roll on Lee Barron, my opinion, probably should have been a red. We were probably missing Casey. We're quick
And Crowley. And Byrne. Crowley and Byrne as well.
No, but I think Casey in particular. We were just kind of slow ball off the ruck. Our line speed was very, very good. I thought in defence it was good. That was some of the positives. Look, we'll move on and we'll see. But I have a theory here, lads, and I think basically we're following Leinster's lead. You see, they lost 35-0 to the Stormers in the first round. Was it 35-0, Matt? Yeah, I think it was 35-0. Yeah, right. So they're playing the long game. So you see, the last couple of games, we've just been, we're not showing our cards for the big game at the weekend. That's basically my opinion on this, right? And you see, look, and if we lose, I won't go into hiding like Matt Boland did after the Stormers game. I just, you know, apparently Orla, he couldn't come on that Monday night because his budgie was sick and he had taken to the vet. I don't know.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Actually, before I come on to you, James, Gregor in here again. Orla could be a future host. There's definitely that possibility. Yeah.
Somebody professional out here, Manny.
No,
Thanks, Gregor.
Sorry, Len, but you love this one here. Matt could have been a star on the rugby pitch. Now he's star in the kitchen.
That's it.
And in the kitchen.
On the kitchen.
Yeah. Then Matt's mom, Pauline Boland, agreeing with you here. A win is a win.
Yes.
So we'll take it. James, what are your thoughts on the Munster Edinburgh game?
I thought it was a very interesting game. Yeah, that first try was that was just Poxy. Very lucky to knock that down. Now, in fairness,
it was skill. It was skill
either way. But
hey, listen, James. At least we scored one in the second minute rather than the 80th minute. So I wouldn't be.
But no,
Thousand glass houses, James.
We scored one in the first minute, and that was Poxy. But we're denied one in the 80th minute, so it all balanced out anyway in the end. But yeah. The Connacht's reject, he must have left his kicking boots in Galway because he didn't convert to any of the tries. He left us a couple of points behind him. But look, a win's a win, and he got there. And hi to Matt's mum. I hope you'll push him out in front of the camera the next time Leinster lose instead of him hiding in the background.
You know what? The Perrys are full of shite.
No, don't
I don't mind. I'll just take the high
Matt, where's your Brown Thomas bag?
That's it. I can't even afford to shop in Brown Thomas. So
Orla, are you free next Monday and the Monday after that? Thanks very much.
No, you know what, James? Speaking of that, I think Matt's mom has a spare Munster jersey waiting for him there now for next Monday.
Yeah, she should make him wear it.
I told you before, I'd rather wear a Dublin AA jersey than wear Munster jersey.
Red would suit you so much, Matt.
I don't think so.
Red would suit you so much.
Bring out the colour in your eyes.
No, Matt,
I'll
Matt,
go for a beer. Bring a beer for the rest of us, Orla, will you?
Just telling Dad don't come in. You'd have him for dinner. You'd be like, oh.
Matt,
We'd have to
what
get
are your thoughts?
rule guards for Len. Like if Dad came into the background, he'd be like, Jay.
Oh, Matt, I asked me your thoughts on the Munster Edinburgh game.
Well, look, I mean, it was a great start for Munster, obviously, because 3 wins in a row is a great way to kick off a season. And as a Leinster fan, we were only looking to get that type of start in the performance. But again, like we went down to South Africa, and it's out of the way now. So as many people have said, like you don't win the URC in September, and it's a long season ahead. So, but look, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a majorly dip in performance. I wouldn't be thoroughly upset, like as Len said. Like, teams always go through patches where they're not as good or they're having a dip in performance. We know that Munster team are capable of winning and beating any team, and I won't be as confident going in next week to the Leinster v Munster game. It's going to be a very tight game, I think, and I would have loved if Leinster had started like Munster, but look, that's just the way it is. Like it's rugby at the end of the day, and it's 15 men v 15 men. Somebody's going to have a bad day and lose, and somebody's going to have a good day and win, and that's just the way it goes.
Sorry, Danny. Yeah. Just on that, Matt. One thing I forgot about: Macmillan has actually played 35 players in 3 games. So
you see, there you go. I mean, like everybody, that's incredible.
Hold their hands up. Yeah.
So like having a dip in performance is only a result of, as you said, Macmillan playing 35 players. Like Leinster played 50 players last year in a season, 52 or 53 players in the season, and that's exactly what you want. You want Clayton making these changes to giving everybody a chance to get their name onto the squad. Like.
I'd agree. Yeah, I'd agree.
Now, Paulie or Mama Boland in here again saying, red is his colour. I would totally agree with that.
She'd be the first to tell you I've never worn a Munster jersey.
Yeah, but you can wear red. That's right. Peter here, I agree with, and I'll come to you this one next one. Munster would not have won the game if Edinburgh had kept their discipline. 100%. I actually agree with that.
I did say that, yeah.
Now, or do you have any thoughts on the Munster Edinburgh game from Friday night?
It's a win. It was a great win. It's always when you change the guard and have new management in, it takes a while for people to get used to new systems and new change. And, winning under the change of a new guard is always good. And there seems to be a nice atmosphere in the team, good team spirit, and they're willing to keep trying and try things as well, which is always good and not afraid to do it. And yes, Peter was right. That's the case with many a game. If other teams' discipline had been good, they might win. So, but they weren't, and we got away with the win. So we're happy. 2 from 2.
Yeah.
So
which is always a good thing. Now, Matt, I know you are here. You're the only Leinster man, and since Leinster was the second game on of the weekend, I will let you gleefully tell us about the 31-5 win over the Sharks.
Yeah, well, I was at the game, so I haven't actually had a chance to watch it back on the TV, but it wasn't the best atmosphere going. Consider it wasn't a full stadium, so it was only the bottom tiers and maybe a little bit in the middle tier. But for the crowd that was there, it was okay atmosphere. It wasn't like some of the games I've been to before where it's full and there's been fucking no atmosphere. So they got a great win. It was good to see them. You could see the up in the performance from the 35-0 disaster in the first game, and then come back in the second game and actually put a performance together. You could see they were kind of coming like Len, the opposite to what Len was saying Munster were doing. Leinster rising up, but you got to remember some of the lads from the Lions were back, and they were good. Like James Lowe didn't really look as if he had much of a break at all. He came back flying into form. Some poor passes. That pass that Ethan Hooker intercepted and scored a try. Like, just some rustiness. But look, a very good performance overall. I think Harry Byrne had a good game. He controlled things well at fly half. There was loads of positives. Now, going into next weekend, now I'd be cautious because
it comes out later, matter.
Okay, yeah, Grant.
Funny enough, I'm going to come to you next, but this is a very interesting comment here from Johan. And you will notice since Orla has appeared today, we have had no cursing from Len and Matt.
Yeah, we were actually warned, Johan, beforehand. You see, I know you might be familiar with the show, Orla, but you wouldn't be bringing the parish priest in on to have a look at it, right?
You would. He'd be blessing us.
Yeah, it'd be an exorcism, really.
He's armed like Schwarzenegger by the time
so,
he finished.
So when there's a guest on, we actually have to mind our P's and Q's, and we're choking here, to be quite honest with you.
Well, much appreciated. Keep up the good effort.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can't wait till afterwards in the group chat and just getting all the swear words out here. Then that's
He'll be like a pellet gun.
I won't say what swear words, but there will be a lot of in the group chat later on. Len, your thoughts on the Leinster Sharks game?
Yep. Normal service has resumed for Leinster. They were pretty slick, as Matt just said. There was a wayward pass by Harry Byrne, intercepted by Ethan Hooker, and that was the only scores they put on the board. So I put up a thing on the group there where it was gone over the 80th minute. They had a penalty, and Harry Byrne decided to go for the corner, and the forwards are just going off.
Ryan Baird in particular.
Yeah. But yeah, look, they were pretty. Yeah, they were pretty good. They've got over. Look, the South African games are out of the way now. They've got those out of their system. They moved up the table. They eventually got a win, Matt.
You just had to get that dig in, didn't you?
Actually, you didn't go to the game with Luke, did you?
No, I didn't.
No. Who were you with?
I was with friends of mine from France.
Yeah, not Luke. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, look. It was a good win. Here's one for you, Matt. Harry Byrne or Sam Prendergast to start next weekend?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yep.
Harry Byrne.
I'd have to agree with you. I thought, look, he's had a stint in Bristol, and I think he's come back slightly more rounded.
He can fucking tackle.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
said it now, not me. Because if I say that, I'm going to get hammered. Right?
Listen, we've talked about this before.
We have, yeah.
He is good, and we all thought maybe this summer, his break, he was going to go off and maybe learn to tackle, but it still hasn't come true. Now, look, in saying that, we're not slating the chap either. He's still very, very young. He's got a lot to learn. And he'll only get better and this sort of crack. But at the moment, you'd pick on form. And looking at the two previous games and the game at the weekend, you'd pick Harry Byrne going into the Munster game. Simple.
Okay, and I'll be honest here. If I had a choice between Prendergast or Byrne, from a Munster perspective, I'd prefer to see Sam in there because we can target him,
Yeah.
And I honestly think, and I think it's good for the likes of Harry to go away. You know what I mean? He was third choice there. He was falling down the pecking order, and he's back.
Do you know what I think, Glenn? Actually, I think Sam needs to be shipped off to the likes of Munster because you guys will.
No. You're okay. We don't. No.
You want
James. No.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Well,
all right, lads, we have a few more comments here and we have a few more games to get through. Pauline is in again. Let's fly as soon as you can in terms of regular service. Orla is putting names on them, and thank you very much, Orla, for that. And Johan in again. Orla has been a breath of fresh air on the panel tonight. Please have her as a regular guest.
Absolutely,
No,
you're sick of
there you
listening
go.
to us, Johan.
You're making friends and
host.
influencing people there, Orla.
Now, Orla, I'd like to ask your opinion on the Leinster Sharks game.
Now, Danny,
Yeah.
seriously, what would I be doing watching a Leinster game with a knockout?
Definitely, regular guest, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Or we just watch him to get beaten. Eh? That's the only reason we fucking tune in.
To be fair, look, like this is the type of banter you want. I was at a thing in the Shelburne Hotel, and Peter O'Mahony
with his Brown Thomas bag.
Keane Healy. It was actually a work thing, James. If
yeah.
But anyway,
Brown Thomas.
Did you just shut the fuck up for a second? A bunch of elbows. I'm sorry, or like Jesus Christ. Anyway, they were asked about like particular parts of the game or experiences that they had and stories to tell. And Peter O'Mahony was telling about the time they were playing Leinster v Munster, and Peter O'Mahony was only kind of trying to get into the Munster squad, and he was trying to make an impression, and he was giving it all. And anyway, he tackled Brian O'Driscoll and he nailed it, right? And he said he went over to me, because afterwards he kind of said, "Oh shit, that's bad. Maybe I should have gone on a little bit easier." So he went over and he picked him up, right? And then the next huddle that they had, he saw Paul O'Connell storming over to him. And Paul O'Connell said to him, "Don't you ever pick that fucker up again."
That's true. That's true.
It was just brilliant, and it just like the banter between Leinster and Munster, and that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? So.
Well, to be fair, I have to raise my hand. The only reason I didn't get to watch it was I was so busy working on the fundraiser. I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
I do actually, like, if I've shouted for Leinster when you've been in finals, because I'll shout for every other. I shout for Connacht. I shout for Ulster.
Yeah.
I have to whisper this because my dad's in the kitchen. I even shouted for England against South Africa in the World Cup.
I live here. Look, I think.
Oh, against South Africa. Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Against South Africa, it's absolutely fine.
It's like I shout for them in the lines, so it's like.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, like we all cheer for them when they put on the green jersey. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that anytime an Irish province is playing, unless they're playing Leinster, I'll support them and make sure and hope that they're winning, because that's what you want to see. Because ultimately, when the provinces do really well, Ireland do well, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
But if Leinster lose against another team, we'll remind you of it.
Yeah. But sure, look, when was the last time?
That's only fair. Actually, just on that order, just one question. And I don't know, I've never actually seen it written down anywhere in an interview. But when Axel started playing with Shannon, because of his dad's history in the 78 team, was there huge pressure on him? Was there a weight of expectation on him when he started playing with Shannon?
No, he had a huge expectation because he was so prominent as a schoolboy. So he had to live up to his own reputation. He was very much his own man, different player, different position, I suppose, makes it very easy. And his rise was so fast. Like, he actually played for Ireland before he played for Munster.
Yeah.
So, he didn't have, I think the schools rugby is such a precious time for rugby players because they are the kingpins. It's such an intense environment that, if you're lucky enough to come from the school system and rise up all the way through the ranks, it's a very privileged position, whereas Dad had a very different journey. He came from St. Mary's Junior Rugby into Shannon Senior. And at the time, to be a Shannon player, to get picked for Ireland, they used to say you'd have to be walking on water because there was such a bias against the working class club. There was so much bias that when Dad was picked for Ireland in the programme, it put down that he was a sales representative, whereas at the time he was actually a truck driver. He later very quickly became a sales rep, but that's just of the time. And it's great that the world has moved on. So everyone would have had their own different pressures.
You had to have a name like Trevor or Hugo back then to get anywhere, and silver spoon in your mouth. But that was the only way you get in there back then. But so he did well,
Yeah,
and yet that was in the amateur era, which is absolute. It's madness, really, isn't it?
It is, and Anthony started in the amateur era himself. Was it 30 years ago this year?
Yeah,
professional?
Yeah.
95, yeah.
Yeah.
30
So
years ago.
he had the amateur and the professional, and my dad's era was fabulous. Their job was to get their opposite number drunk the night before the game. Time.
Speaking of which, I'm cracking open another one.
To be honest,
That's a
Orla,
job I'm willing to actually volunteer for.
Orla, that is still practiced in some regions of rugby. Where you try to get the opposition team as drunk as possible.
Yeah.
So, especially the backs, the front row tend to be more immune and tend to drink more as well. Am I right, Lynn?
No comment.
How many pints is that now, Lynn?
Brian doesn't have blood in his system. It's solely Guinness.
Yeah. That's it.
Guinness 0-0, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, Orla, do you think there's still an element of politics in rugby?
Well, let's say if you go to a school that's well funded, you'll have a well funded gym and a well funded S&C coach and a well funded coach, and you might have really good nutrition. So that's one of the reasons they say that Scotland and Wales has fallen off, that the nutrition has gone through the floor. So it's very hard to get players at the level. Whereas our nutrition awareness, like if you look, my nephews, you couldn't persuade them to eat healthy when they were young, but all of a sudden they're playing rugby and they know they need to eat X, Y, Z, Z. Their nutrition is spot on. So the education and awareness around that comes with a certain amount of money. And to be honest, Ireland is, for the vast majority, so more affluent, wealthy than it was 30 years ago. So there's a lot more money to put into sports. So if you're a little Jimmy from the back hole of Carsiveen, I don't know where you're going to have the same opportunity as if you're going to Turner College or St. Munchin's, so there is always a bias there. Or if you're in Ulster and you're Catholic, are you likely that you're going to get to play for Ireland because of the bias there that it's mainly Protestants that go to fee-paying schools that have access to the rugby. So there is bias, but you'll find that probably in every area of sport. But I think, to be fair to IRFU, have done mighty work to really bring down any boundaries and get that standard of coaching all across and get the resources in and really fund it at the grassroots level. And they seem to be working on that tirelessly. Because you got to remember, we have a very small population.
Tiny.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with Orla there in terms of the nutrition and stuff. I have a daughter who's 16 and she's playing for playing rugby for Corinthians here in Galway. And she spent the summer on the Connacht team playing for Connacht under 16s, and up to that she would have had chicken nuggets and chips 4 times a day if you gave it to her. But now she's making protein balls and she's learned all this stuff and she's learning all the nutrition stuff as well. And she's back into the sports ground tomorrow evening for another training session to get her prepped for the under 18. So she's hopefully going to join them again next season. But it's all changing at grassroots level and it's great to see. Fantastic.
Another question there for you, Orla, from Dara. He says, has Brendan ever had to buy a pint within Munster since the All Blacks win?
Brilliant.
He would get a lot of free drinks sent to him, but my dad's incredibly generous by nature.
Yeah.
So he would always make it his business to send one back just by the nature of the man.
Yeah.
How's his liver?
He's fit as a flea. He's mighty. He's for 75 years of age on a new hip. I told you he's beaten me on the leaderboard. No, he keeps himself fit. He goes to rugby matches all the time. We unfortunately lost my mum in May, and he was mighty for that whole journey. He was just like an amazing husband, and he was president of Munster at the time. So to me, that's my proudest hour of my dad, is how he handled all that journey, and he did it with such grace and dignity, and I take great pride that he's my dad.
Rightly so.
I suppose we'll move on. James, do you have any thoughts on the Leinster Sharks game?
Well, we knew that was inevitable anyway, that the bounce back had happened after the 2 Southern Hemisphere games. You could see the improvement from game 1 to game 2, and you know what they're doing, and it was good to see some of the players that were on tour still involved in the third game. But but it was always going to be a one-sided affair, I thought anyway. And yeah, entertaining game. Good to see Leinster back doing what Leinster do.
Another comment in here from Dara. I hope Brendan got to keep his old hip. He could send bits of it off to clubs around the country as rugby relics.
eBay.
Darn
That's a
it. That would have
typical
been a great
response from
raffle
Dara.
prize, wouldn't it?
It would be worth a fortune.
Yeah.
Darn
Hey,
it.
to be honest, this would be like a Shroud of Turin kind of situation there now for clubs around
Orla wouldn't
Munster.
have to fundraise. You know what I
If
mean?
he gets
That has to
another
be gone
one,
out the
look,
window.
I'll harvest that.
An All Blacks beating hip.
Danny,
Yeah.
send her up a tie bone from a heifer, right? Say nothing. And just
What are you
off
saying
she's
about
on
my
it.
dad, Len?
Brendan Foley's hip. I'm telling you now. Look, that's it. You don't have to be cycling around the country and go down to south of France and the rest of it.
No, actually, Orla, speaking of new hips, we have a Ledner running a group, Mike Reedy. He's had a new hip in recently as well. It was a couple of months ago. So maybe him and your dad could get together and compare hips or something like that, you know?
Yeah, but in fairness,
Or we
Mike
could get
is an
him on
awful
the
lot
move
older
for
than
Axel and see if he can
Brendan now.
compete. Get him on the leaderboard.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
that's a better hip, maybe. Orla is an amazing woman, really impressive guest. Yes, you are, Orla, and I would completely
100%.
agree with that.
Thanks, Peter.
Monster folk, Peter. He doesn't get it.
Yeah, Orla, I have a contact in hospital. We say nothing and use it for the fundraiser. I'm sorry, Dara. I should have said that privately. Sorry, Dara. Sorry. Forget that was ever said.
Delete that.
Moving on. James, Cardiff 14, Connacht.
Yeah, it was
You knew it's coming.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I tell you, I put it up in the group earlier in the week. It's been a reality check for us Connacht fans who thought that the Stuart Lancaster era was going to be all sunshine and roses and winning and going to be all singing and all dancing. But it was the Tom Bowen Callum Sheedy show. Shocking game to watch altogether. As a neutral. If I was a neutral, I'd have turned it off. It was fucking terrible. It was worse than soccer. It was taking the ball up.
It's saying a lot.
Yeah, it was very disappointing as a fan. I think Bevan, one of our admin on a comic group as well, and a regular contributor here, has a few comments to put in. But shocking, and the intercept try at the end. I thought Cian Prendergast. That was shocking. The pass to him wasn't great for a start. We kicked the ball away at every opportunity. Carty and Ben Murphy didn't click at all. No, it changed when Matthew Devine came on, and it improved. But it was an awful spectacle altogether. And I would say the review that the guys did today in Dexcom would have been fairly tough watching for all concerned. And I would say it has tempered our expectations for the rest of the season. I'd say that much.
Bevan here, which you alluded to a moment ago, says Connacht were disappointing. Carty's kicks were atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
He ruined the momentum with kicking to no one. And to be honest, most of his kicks didn't make it to touch. When they did, they didn't bounce out, which was annoying, as we would have been so far up the pitch on some of the occasions, which could have ended in tries. The kicking game needs to stop. It's rugby, not football.
Yeah. I agree about that. Yeah.
Len, did you see any of that game?
I watched the first half of it because, I think most Munster men, their second team is Connacht, to be quite honest with you, as we're close neighbours. So I watched the first half and it was fucking atrocious. It was really, really bad. So, probably about 35 minutes in, I flicked over onto the Ulster game, which was a cracker. And come half time, I went, here, in fact, this for a game of soldiers. And I went back to the Ulster game. It was very, very poor, Yeah, look, I know what you're saying, James, about the Lancaster error, but he's only in. He's a good man manager. It's just like Macmillan in it. Munster, it's 3 games in. It's you know, let's be level-headed about this and give it a chance. JJ was pretty good on his last outing. He missed 4 conversions. This time around, Carty had a poor game. You know, it happens. They're human. So we'll wait and see.
The one thing that I do like, I'm fine with Carty at 10 as long as he's not kicking conversions, and Cathal Ford is doing all that, and that's a big plus for me, because he's so flaky off the tee. He's a confidence player, and if he gets the first one wrong, he's fucked.
Yeah,
he's completely fucked.
Yeah.
So he's Cathal Ford is brilliant, and Bevan I know has a little soft spot for Cathal as well. So she has. She'll be chiming in any second with her comments there.
There's the first Matt. James Grenn swore more than the 2 of us put together, huh? Actually, the one positive from that game was, I thought, Connacht's defence.
Yeah, it was good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the defence was good,
but liable to leave in as many tries as they scored last season, right? So they stuck to task in that respect. Yeah,
they did. But the attack was absent completely for 82 minutes.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Put that up in the group and said, okay, defence is good. That's the positive. But they were absent in attack. What Connacht were famous for last season and the season before was these, slick handling, quick getting it out to the wings, wingers running up, scoring tries, ad nauseum, but then leaking as many tries as well.
They're basically the provincial version of Argentina.
Yeah, but Dara is saying here, Len, you're from Waterford. You're closer neighbour to Leinster than Connacht.
Yeah, no, look, we don't acknowledge that, Dara, and feck off.
We don't acknowledge that and feck off.
Yeah. Orla, you didn't see any of the Connacht or Cardiff game, did you? Or did any thoughts or opinions on it?
You didn't miss much, Orla.
It's probably better off. I was watching. I was bored off my head of it, and I would say, Bevan,
you're bored off your others, Danny.
Yeah, I so bored. I was tempted to watch the football. Bevan here, I agree with you, James. 40 is the best for the kicks, and he's left-footed, which adds to the edge as well.
Yeah.
Matt, any thoughts on the Cardiff Connacht game before we go into next weekend's game?
Like Len, I did start to watch that game, and I had to turn it off because it was just desperate to watch. And then when you turned on the Ulster game, it was a complete opposite. It was a cracker of a game. And there's a reason why James is cursing so much, Len, because if my team played like that, I'd be cursing as well. So
well, they did in the first round, Matt.
Yeah, look, I mean, as the old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. You've 2 new coaches that have only done pre-season and 3 games, and you're fucking kicking the toys out of the pram already.
Yeah.
Loads of time, lads. And 2 amazing coaches as well.
I think Mark Noonan there is agreeing with your synopsis there. Rome wasn't built in a day. Connacht will improve massively.
Like there's not a coach out there that can change a team in 3 games. No. Not a coach. It takes at least a season to bed in. And with the likes of
our expectations are now tempered based on that.
Actually,
we were thinking, we're going to win the ORC this year.
Lancaster's one of the best coaches.
Just on that, James, now that you've actually lost the game under Lancaster, have you stopped stalking them?
No, still stalking them.
Absolutely not.
No, he's just eased up into dad jokes.
Yeah,
hasn't even done that, Danny.
I'll be
glad.
Lancaster has 100 meter training order on fucking James Grennan up in Galway.
I'm going to be in Dexcom tomorrow evening with my daughter from 6 until 9. So I'm going to see if
don't embarrass him, James. God's sake.
And outside this house from 5 to 7. Go here now, will you?
Actually, there's a good one here because Connacht only played 2 games this season. He said it would be interesting to see when the scoreboard goes when the rescheduled matches happen. Yeah. So, I suppose maybe
that's a good point because, in all fairness, coaches will set up their teams. They don't do it. They may pick the teams midweek, but like that's what's announced. So I do think you have to factor that in, that with the cancellation, they would have prepared one squad, to set up, and then a wholly different squad to set up for the weekend's game. So look, you have to factor that in as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I suppose there is a point in that, when if you have to reschedule training, for anything like that, I suppose it does. It does kind of put you off maybe a bit. Maybe that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
The weekend as well, maybe would Anthony or yourself or your dad have ever found that kind of happening?
I don't recall, but would any sports team, any disruptions from preparation, because people will have a system of how to eat, how to train, they're mentally getting in the zone, so you have to recalibrate. We saw it with the Lions when the game was delayed because of the weather. It is a disruption, and some people can turn it to their advantage depending on their psychology, and other people can be disrupted by it. It's ideal if things can be as planned, but you can't plan for the weather, especially in Ireland. So,
but as a physio, Orla, would your services be called on when you have something like that, where it's a delay, which is very, very unusual now because it was lightning warning, right? But can a physio help in those matters?
Yes.
Can you? Yes.
Yeah, you can. We can help with everything. Did you know
Your magic.
Can you help Leinster beat the Stormers?
Why would I?
Love it.
Oh.
Sorry, man, you're outnumbered tonight. You get back next week. Don't worry.
Yeah. I can see Matt grinning this there now. He's just gritting the teeth. No,
I think it's gas crack.
Yeah. Actually, did you get a haircut there recently, Matt?
No, he got his ears lowered.
I shaved the beard. That's why it looks all neat.
Yeah, were you leaving it growing to actually Leinster actually win a game this season?
At least I can grow a fucking beard, Danny.
Yeah, mine's good enough. I have to keep mine trimmed on a regular basis every 2 days. Look like fucking sent claws after a fucking week. I suppose we'll jump on to next week's games. I'll get your predictions on this.
Jesus, Gregor, you're fucking raging if you don't do the Ulster match.
She's the Ulster game. You forgot the Ulster game.
The two boys practically covered it there, and we've got 6.5 minutes second left.
There's one of our followers gone.
James, what do you think of the Ulster game, James?
Just for Gregor's. I thought Ulster were
we don't
brilliant.
need Danny
I
next
haven't
week.
seen him playing so
log
good
off
for so long. I switched over to while they were sorting out the mics at halftime for the Connacht game. I switched over to watch the Ulster game, and I thought Ulster were brilliant. And I watched the highlights back, Gregor, and I thought they were fantastic.
No,
Matt,
Megan,
what do you think?
I switched over, and there were some really, really good performances from the Ulster team. Nathan Doak, I thought, played really well in scrum half. Jacob Stockdale had a cracker of a game at fullback, and also Zach Ward played really well. But the back was unbelievable, and they had that game won in the first half.
Now, or before we go on to the end,
Orla's looking after this too.
Hang on, Danny.
Before we go on to the end, if I ever need a weekend off, I'll just give you a shout, okay? I just keep the boys in line, all right? So
I'll take your commission then.
I'll
give it to the charity.
I think we're all in agreement here, are we? If I'm
out, say you're paid peanuts. We don't even get fucking peanuts, Orla.
No, not even Chris.
No, you get points instead. Then that's what you get.
Yeah.
Well watered.
Look, I haven't even a sponsor here.
Yes,
we're working on Guinness for you, Len. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be sponsored by Aldi with their Brown Bear gluten-free beer. It's the best you can get. It's absolutely gorgeous.
We'll take your word for it.
We need to
I'll stick to fucking Guinness. Orla, I thought, yes, it was a very good display by Ulster. Great intent. Delighted to see. Yes, it was. Yes, and I was delighted to see him get the win. And for Richie Murphy, he's I think he's building something there, and he has a full season with him this year now. And I'd like to see all 4 provinces finish in the top 8. Obviously, Munster up at the top, but the rest of them can lag behind us.
Here.
There's a argument on me on that one. We will move on to next weekend's games, and I will ask for your predictions. James, Connacht up first against the Bulls. How do you think that will
go? Short and sweet. I think Connacht will have to bounce back, and we're going to have to win that.
Len, Connacht versus the Bulls. Connacht at home.
Yeah, likewise. They have to put in a performance here, and they need to win. It'll be close. It'll be a score in it, I reckon. Get their homework. Look, Lancaster's known for getting his homework right, so they had an off day last week. Put it behind them and move on.
Orla, Connacht versus the Bulls. How would you like that one to go?
I always have a bias for the men in green.
Matt?
Yeah, look, I do think they'll bounce back. I think it'll be a very close game, but the weather and conditions in Connacht will always favour Connacht, and they'll get the win.
Now, Matt, the Sharks are at home to Ulster. How do you see that one going?
I'm going to go with Ulster getting a sneaky win down in South Africa. Honestly, they were impressive this weekend, and I think they'll take that momentum massively going down to South Africa.
Orla, how do you see the Ulster Sharks game going? Now, Ulster have to travel to South Africa for that one.
Sure. The Ulstermen can pull it out of the bag, can't they?
We'd hope, I suppose. Len, Sharks, Ulster.
Yeah, look, the last 3 rounds, it's been the majority of the home teams have actually won. It's getting a bit like the top 14. But I think this time around, Ulster might actually just sneak a win down there. Hopefully.
James, Sharks, Ulster.
I'll be back in Ulster if they can perform as well as they did last weekend. Then absolutely, I think they'll sneak the win. But it'll be a 1 point or it'll be a 1-score game.
Orla, I'll come to you on this one first because this is the last game of the weekend. Leinster versus Munster.
It's our time, isn't it?
I suppose so, but do you think there'll be much in the game? Do you think
It's always going to be close, 3-pointer.
Matt, no, just remember, Mommy Boland is still watching and commenting away. So,
and anything you predict, we're going to hold you to it next week. So, fire away.
Matt, you'll have to wear the jersey of whatever team wins this game next week.
Ask my arse.
Language, Matthew, language.
Shut up, Danny, will you? Who are you trying to be, me mother?
Actually, Pauline, can you get a Munster jersey just for Matt for next weekend?
She won't be buying me a Munster jersey, don't worry about it. Look, I'll be short and sweet on this, and I'll just say, if Leinster hadn't put that performance in last week, I would have actually gone with Munster, but I think they might get a sneaky win. I think they might just do it. Given it's in Croke Park, they're coming into a little bit of form. I think it'll be a one score game, 3 or 4 points.
Ben here has been very diplomatic. Connacht, Ulster, and a draw.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it'll be a draw because neither Leinster or Munster will ever want to draw.
No, because even Pauline here is saying hopefully Munster can finally get a win over Leinster.
That's my mother putting the mockers on it for you now, lads. Fair play.
Pauline.
Oh, don't tell me she's putting the Burke.
Oh, she is brilliant at a Berkey. Love it.
Yeah, or
if
we have
to win, I'd have been in trouble.
Yeah, or we have a little thing in here. It's called putting a Burke. It's named after Peter Burke, our main admin here. Normally, if he says one team to win, you put your house in the opposite team. So if he said, let's say, Zebra to beat Stormers, you put your money on the Stormers. Because that's how bad his prediction is. So that's what the whole prediction of pulling a Berkeley is. Now, James, Leinster versus Munster.
Oh, I'll have the popcorn out for that one. That's going to be a ding-dong battle. And I don't know. What do you think, Hugo? Who's going to win? Leinster or Munster? Who do you think? I don't know. Hugo can't decide either. I say draw. It's going to be a draw.
What a fucking fence sitter, for fuck's sake.
He's worse than Mike Reedy. You know.
Bring Mike Reedy back.
Bring Mike Reedy back, yep.
Len, what need I ask?
I know now. Look, like, let's bring pragmatic here, Danny. Now, like, you know what I mean. I'd say Munster by about 40 points.
Leinster definitely winning. So
I
don't know. It'll be a tight game. Hopefully, as I said, we have something up our sleeve. It'll all depend on the team that's picked. Byrne is back, I would imagine, for this one. So Casey is out. You know, if we get the right team, out? Kelly. What?
Is Casey definitely out?
I don't know for definite, but they said 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm not 100% sure.
If he's out, if he was in, we'd have a lesser chance.
Yeah, look, and if Sam is in, we have a better chance. So we'll wait for the team.
I would agree with you.
I go for
Byrne to start.
I'm going for a Munster win, a Munster man. I'm going with my heart, and I'll take the criticism next Monday night.
Burke is putting in his prediction.
I won't be bringing me budgie to the fucking vet. Okay.
Peter Burke has put in his prediction.
Yeah, and it's a typical Burke prediction. Munster will hammer Leinster, so yeah. Peter, you should have said Leinster to hammer Munster, all right? That's the way it's supposed to go. You're supposed to say the opposite, so we'll win. All right? That's how it goes. Almighty.
Well, lads, that's the predictions up. Can I just say, before you wrap up, Danny, that we rarely have guests on the Monday show, Orla, and it was absolutely a pleasure to meet you. A pleasure to have you on the show.
You've been the first guest on a Monday show, and absolutely delighted, Orla, to get chatting to you again. It's been a total pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah. Orla, fair play to you for coming on, and given that all the thing that you're doing now for the charity and the fundraising and all that, it's absolutely top notch. And I'd say your father and your brother is probably looking down on you with gleam and pride. So thanks a million for coming on. And please, if Danny's ever not available, will you come back and talk?
We'll have you on.
It's very easy. Just ask questions about the games and you're sorted and decide who you're talking to.
Yeah. And if Munster win at the weekend, please come back on next Monday's night show. Just come back.
You can host.
Just a second.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it. You're right.
Orla, you are a fantastic guest. As James said, you're the first guest we've had on the Monday night show, and I could not have asked for a better guest than yourself to have on as the host of this show. You were absolutely fantastic.
Co-host.
Yeah.
Co-host, yes.
Yeah, sorry, as a great co-host. And to be honest, Orla, if I ever was missing on a Monday night, I know straight away I'd be on to you asking you to host because I think you are that good. I think you have a very good way about you. So, thanks so much, and thanks for all. I think you're doing fantastic with the charity work. It's on the GoFundMe as well.
I donate.
I donate. Yeah.
Or
Matt will put it up
you can find it
later.
on my website.
Yeah, I'll stick up the link on Spotify as well, and we'll do a post on the group as well with all the links and stuff and your website now.
He's our tech.
And do we have a screenshot of all of us posing here now? Anyone?
We'll get that later on. We'll get that later on. Don't worry about that.
We'll get the screenshot now. I've taken a screenshot there now, so I'll post that in a while.
Hang on, James, you haven't done your makeup yet.
Oh no, Jesus!
He has done his makeup.
I haven't done my hair. Oh,
you forgot to polish.
You didn't see what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Cycle for Axel bandana.
Oh, very good.
Hey,
good.
I was wondering what that was.
Oh, you should have brought that up earlier.
No, and it's very cool because you can wear it two ways. It's a different color than with. But it's not.
It's much better that color. Yeah, love it.
Turn it back. Back the other way.
Never
Back
misses
the other
an
way.
opportunity.
Go the way
Fair
down.
play now, Orla. Fair play to you.
That's
It's
really
actually
not
all the
blue,
ones
man.
Actually,
that
do you know, Orla? Blue is your colour. Lovely.
Actually, or just a question there for you about the bandanas. Can people purchase them or anything, or do they get sent out?
Yeah,
Or
people can purchase them. When you register, you can purchase them, or if people want to purchase them separate, they can contact me and they can be sporting the very cool bandanas.
So
And they can
Yeah,
be worn as
orlafoley.com, is it?
hoodies, balaclavas, if you're doing anything dodgy.
yeah,
So it's orlafoley.com for those links, Orla's.
Yeah, they're all there.
Now, Orla, if Leinster lose too much next week, don't be surprised if you get a Matt Boland asking for a balaclava.
Easy, Daniel. Easy, Daniel. It's
Just
not
make
bad.
sure it's a
It'll be
red
the
one.
third time
Okay.
this budgie has fucking died.
I think when we win, and you just have to call me the lucky omen and have me on every time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
You are a new mascot, Orla.
Yeah, because
That's a very good point, Orla.
because if we do win, I have your email here. I will literally be emailing you straight away. Are you available Monday night? Can you please come on? So anytime Munster win, if you predict the win, I might have to ask you to come on more often. But I suppose that's
I'd
where
happily be on with Munster winning more often.
Yes, I like it.
especially over Leinster. Especially over Leinster. Lads, it has been a pleasure, Orla. It is great to have you on. And best of luck with the whole cycle for Axel thing.
So you
Matt,
might join me. Do you cycle?
I can ride a tractor, all right. I can chase after cattle. That's about as much as I can do. I'm
You could be in the
simple person.
Move Club. That would be the Move for Axel Club
Yeah,
then.
if you just hang a can of Guinness on a stick and a string ahead of me, I'll do any amount of mileage.
No, if you really want him to move, just get him to follow the Guinness truck and have a keg just dangling dangerously close off it. You will see that man move.
We're gone way over time. We better wrap it up.
Yeah. Matt, Len, James, you're the regular
Levo.
lads. It's been a pleasure with you. Orla, thank you so much for being on with us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to have you on again in the future if you're ever available on Monday night.
You've mentioned that
I
a few
will-
times, Danny.
Yeah. I know, but he just keeps distracting me for flip's sake. Notice I didn't swear. No, I'll say good night to everyone. I'll
Good night,
see you
Danny.
Monday.
Night, everyone.
Good night, Orla.
Night,
Take care.
all.
Night, night.
Cheers.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye.